First pitch is out to Matt Hammond, the DH. Swing and a miss makes it 1-1. Two balls and a strike to Matt Hammond, the DH. One away. Here in the top of the first, a run already in for the Saints. And Hammond drives this into right center field. Long run for Snodgrass. Coming over to his right, makes the catch. He's going to throw to second, and they double up the runner. That prevents the run from scoring. And a double play gets the A's out of the first. But a run for the Saints on 2 hits. They'll leave one stranded through 1/2 inning. It is the Saints 1, the Athletics coming up on the Fresno Athletics streaming network. One to nothing. The South Bay Saints are leading the Fresno Athletics here at Chachansky Park. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Tim Slack with you. In case you missed me saying it earlier, Brian Welch will be back on Tuesday. A privilege and honor to be filling in for him while he's recovering. But good status update, and had a chance to talk to Brian last night, and he sounds fantastic and ready to get back at it. Well, the A's are ready to get to the plate against the right-hander Christian Johnson as the Saints starter, right-hander making his first start of the 2024 summer. Here's the lineup he'll face for the A's, set out by Oscar Hinojosa, the 6-year head coach of the Athletics. Logan Kelly, center fielder, leads off. Cade Snodgrass in right field bench second. Cody Weigosh at second base hits third. Cameron DeMaria at first base hits cleanup. Bryce Robinette at third base bats fifth. Parker Cristal, the DH, will hit sixth. Sotaro Ishida in left field bats seventh. Hunter Ariano will catch and hit eighth. And Hunter Logan is the shortstop, batting ninth. So here is Logan Kelly. He was a catalyst in the win on Wednesday, and he skies the first pitch into right field. Kai Hirschberger, the right fielder, loops around to make the catch, and that is the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out for Christian Johnson. The defense behind him has Danny Rodriguez in left, Danny Gill in center, Kai Hirschberger in right. Julian Galvin's the third baseman, Eric Morad short. Second baseman is Joey McCormick. First baseman is Noble Ortega, and Cesar Ortega is behind the plate. Here's Cade Snodgrass to hit with one out, nobody on, and he takes down low. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out, nobody on as Snodgrass watches a curveball across to make it 1-1. 1-0 Saints. They scored on a couple of hits in the first inning. And now Snodgrass lifts one up on the right side. A long run, everybody coming in, and it's the right fielder Hirschberger who makes the catch in fair territory. And 2 flyouts to the right fielder Hirschberger. Not unlike how the A's started Wednesday in the first game of the doubleheader against the Halos, with all 3 outs in that first inning going towards the right fielder. And Kelly and Snodgrass both hit the ball towards Hirschberger, who's proven very capable out in right field. Now Cody Weigosh, left-hand hitter, stands in, 2 out, nobody on, and watches a fastball up and away from Christian Johnson. 1 ball, no strikes. 9-inning ball game. Beat the heat days. It's supposed to get up to 90 degrees this afternoon. Breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. I believe there's also a high school showcase here at Chachansky Park tonight. Quite the busy week while the Fresno Grizzlies are on the road. Fastball up and away, and Weigosh ahead, 3 balls and no strikes. And so the A's playing game 3 of an 8-game homestand. They'll be here tomorrow and Tuesday as well. 3 balls, no strikes. Johnson trying to avoid putting a base runner on and pours in a fastball on the outer half. 3 balls and a strike. 2 away in the bottom of the first inning. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss through a high fastball. And it's 3-2. Payoff pitch. And Weigosh shoots it up the third baseline, foul out of the reach of Galvin, who almost tracked down the flare off the bat of Weigosh. Three-two. Johnson misses down low, and Weigosh aboard with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. So it was a fairly smooth first 2 batters for Christian Johnson. And then Weigosh got in the driver's seat, 3-0. Coaxed 3 more pitches out of Johnson before finally drawing the walk. So 2 out, 1 on. And here's Cameron DeMaria, the first baseman, to hit with the A's trailing by a run. Johnson out of the stretch, and his first pitch is fisted to third. Slow bouncer to Galvin. The third baseman picks it up, throws across the diamond, and ends the inning. The A's fail to get a hit in the first, but they do get a base runner, and they leave 1 stranded. After 1, it's the Saints leading 1-0 on the Athletics streaming network. Start of the second inning here at Chachansky Park, where the South Bay Saints lead 1-0. Miles Harrison back out there for the A's. He'll face Joey McCormick, Noble Ortega, and Julian Galvin, 6, 7, 8 in the Saints order. Appreciate you bearing with us on some technical difficulties. Brian will be back on Tuesday, and he's got this whole setup figured out. As Harrison winds and deals, a first pitch fastball is at the top of the zone to Joey McCormick for a called strike. And it's 0-1. The Saints scoring a run on 2 hits in the first after a leadoff walk to Danny Rodriguez. He came around to score, but the A's got out of trouble on a double play off a fly ball to right field. Breaking ball doesn't get the call, as it looked pretty good from Harrison, maybe called up by the home plate umpire, Matt Brown. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Joey McCormick, the second baseman for the Saints. Harrison winds and deals, and he skips a breaking ball in the dirt down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Also, we're delayed a little bit this morning by some maintenance issues on the field. They got some water leakage off the field, but grounds crew had to work a few minutes extra, so we didn't start till 8:17 as Harrison misses away with a fastball. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Harrison winds and deals, 3-1 pitch. Is a fastball off the plate away, and McCormick draws a leadoff walk. And for the second straight inning to start the game, the Saints have a leadoff man aboard on a free pass. That'll be the first baseman, Noble Ortega. Another left-handed bat in this Saints order. Saints put up 27 runs in their first 2 games. And so this is a loaded offense. First pitch up and away from Harrison, who's trying to find his command early on. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the second as Harrison delivers, and the fastball fought off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Harrison kicks and deals, and Ortega watches a changeup that time on the outside corner. It's a called strike, 1-2. McCormick, the runner on first after the leadoff walk. Nobody out in the top of the second. Harrison's 1-2, cut on and missed. High fastball got Ortega to chase out of the zone. First strikeout for Harrison. And there's 1 away. Top of the second, Julian Galvin, the third baseman, will hit with a runner on first. And Harrison's going to check on McCormick, who goes diving back into the first base bag. No first base coach for the Saints. It's just the head coach, Cesar Ortega, in the third base box. Looks like he's keeping notes as well. The first pitch is down and out to Galvin. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. Harrison kicks and deals, and the fastball is off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. So early on, Miles Harrison has worked himself into a little trouble with free passes and falling behind in the count. Now trying to work his way out of it, as he did in the first. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball off the plate away, gets away from Mariano. And that will put McCormick on second after, I think it's probably a wild pitch. It'll be a coin flip there, looking at the scorer right now as to whether that's going to be a pass ball or a wild pitch. Could make an argument either way. So 3 balls, no strikes Don't have to come into Galvin, the 8th place hitter, with first base open. But a fastball is fought off. Skied down the right field line and into the seats. 3 balls and a strike. McCormick leads off second, 1 away in the second. 3-1 pitch. And this fastball lifted high into left field. Back goes Ishida. He'll camp underneath it and put it away for the second out. And back to second goes McCormick with no advance. So Harrison responds well after the walk to get the next 2 outs. And for the Saints, it's the 9th place hitter, Eric Mora, trying to extend this inning and the lead for the Saints after a run in the first for the visitors. McCormick, after the leadoff walk in the extra base, stands at second. Mora tips the first pitch, a fastball into the glove of Hunter Ariano, and it's 0-1. Harrison will check on McCormick at second, already in scoring position. Outfield fairly deep to the point where a single would probably draw McCormick in attempt to come home. A 1 pitch from Harrison. Fastball on the outside corner, gets the call, and 2. Two outs. Still in the second. 2 strikes to Mora. The 0-2 pitch. Harrison deals. Mora grounds it to third past the dive of Robinette, but it's scooped up by the shortstop, Hunter Logan, to keep McCormick at third, and that saves a run, but it's a hit for Mora. And that'll put runners on the corners in front of Danny Rodriguez. So 2 outs. And the Saints trying to add to a 1-run lead. Rodriguez was the guy who scored back in the first inning after a walk. And Harrison catches the top corner on the outside part of the plate to get ahead of Rodriguez. 0-1. Left-hand batter. Chance to do some damage for the Saints here in the second. Runner goes from first. Fastball is high. Ariano's throw down to second is going to skip off of the bag in center field and trickle into the outfield. A run will score, and the double steal will pay off for the Saints as they now lead 2-0. Count 1 ball and 1 strike to Danny Rodriguez, leadoff man, trying to do more damage for the Saints, and he takes another high fastball for another called strike, and it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the second. Harrison misses down and in. And the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-0 in favor of the South Bay Saints. The visitors have come in and scored. They have officially ruled that an E2 that got the second run home. Harrison with a fastball fought off by Rodriguez. He knew that had been called a strike 2 previous pitches in the at-bat and fights it off to stay alive. Two and 2 to Rodriguez. Runner on second, 2 outs. Harrison kicks and deals, and the fastball popped up on the infield. It's the shortstop, Hunter Logan, behind the bag at second, makes the catch and ends the inning. But South Bay adds a run after the free pass, an error by the Athletics, and 1 left on for the Saints in the second. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. South Bay leading Fresno 2-0 on the Athletics streaming network. Bryce Robinette will lead things off for the Athletics, down 2-0 in the bottom of the second against Christian Johnson. It'll be Robinette, Cristal, and Ishida. 5, 6, 7 in the Athletics order. Looking for their first hit against the right-hander Johnson, who misses away 2 balls and no strikes. Called an unearned run for the Saints in the second, but they did extend their lead. With runners on the corners, they put on kind of a de facto double steal as Johnson misses down and in. 3-0 to Robinette. Johnson working exclusively out of the stretch. His 3-0 pitch too low and a 4-pitch walk to start the second. So Johnson in the first retired Kelly on just 1 pitch, the first pitch of his outing. But of the 4.5 innings, we've had 3 leadoff walks already. And we saw that dictate games on Wednesday night here at Chukchansky against the Halos. Free passes gave the Halos an opportunity to scratch across some runs in game 1. They won that 3-0. And 4 walks consecutively in that third inning of the second game gave the A's an opportunity. Here's Parker Cristal, the DH, takes a fastball right down the middle for a called strike, probably taking to make sure Johnson could regain his composure. 2 walks issued by the righty Johnson thus far through the first 5 batters he has faced. 0-1, and Cristal tips a fastball into the glove of Ortega. It's 0-2. Nobody out in the bottom of the second. Athletics down by 2. Looking for some offense against the righty Johnson, and Johnson checks on Robinette to make sure the third baseman's not going anywhere. 0-2 to Cristal. Johnson slides home, and a fastball fought off the hands. One, 2 to Cristal. Johnson trying to get on the same page with his catcher Ortega, and checks on Robinette, who is leaning towards second and probably was going to be moving on the pitch. 0-2. Johnson delivers. Cristal takes. Called strike 3, and Cristal thought it was off the plate away. Matt Brown says it got enough of the plate to be the first out of the second. The throw behind Robinette at first was well behind Robinette, sliding back into the base. So 1 out, 1 on. And here's the first Athletics at bat for Satoru Ishida, the left fielder today. Robinette leads off first. Johnson kicks and deals, and Ishida wraps it to third. Knocked down by Galvin, who stumbles, recovers, throws to first, and he throws high. Down the right field line, that will get the runner Robinette over to third. And we'll see how many errors they rule on the play. Looks like just the one, so interesting. You could give a hit and an error on that, depending on what part of that play you judge to be the error on Galvin that put Ishida aboard. But it's first and third for Hunter Ariano. He's looking for their first run of the game against Christian Johnson. The righty deals. There goes Ishida. Got a good jump and not even a throw from the catcher Ortega as Ishida swipes second. It is a called strike to the catcher Ariano. So the traditional double play not there, but the Saints are going to play the infield in a little bit. The middle infielders halfway on the dirt as Johnson misses away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to the catcher Ariano. Leadoff walk to Robinette. And he moved to third on Ishida's what ends up being an error on the third baseman Galvin. He's still looking for their first hit. Swing and maybe a tip into the glove of Ortega. As Ariano got a piece of it before going into the glove of his counterpart, 1-2. Tying run on second early in the early going for the A's. Johnson kicks and deals. 1-2 pitch. Change up outside. And it's even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Athletics catcher. Good speed on the bases for the A's here in the second. As they try to turn the lineup over against Johnson. 2-2 pitch. Ariano fights it back to the screen behind the plate. And it stays 2-2. 1 away in the second. A's trailing 2-0 to the South Bay Saints. 9-inning game today. 2-2 pitch. Outside. Ball 3 and the count runs full. Hunter Logan, the shortstop, awaits on deck. Johnson's payoff pitch. Ariano lines it into left field. That's going to send Rodriguez into the left center field gap. To his left, makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Robinette. Throws cut off, and the A's are on the board behind the sacrifice fly from Hunter Ariano. Still no hit yet for the Athletics, but they'll take the run. And it is a 1-run ball game in the early going. So the Saints lead, cut in half, 2-1. Here in the bottom of the second, 2 out and a runner on second for Hunter Logan, the shortstop. Will hit against Christian Johnson. The Saints starter misses high with a fastball around the shoulders of Logan. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 away here in the second. But the A's capitalizing on the leadoff walk, which has come around to score every time it's been put on today. All 3 runs in this game. As Logan fights a pitch off his hands, and it's 1-1. Both of the Saints' runs were leadoff walks that came around to score. And now the A's capitalize on one given away by Christian Johnson. The 1-1 breaking ball dips low. Is inside as well. 2 balls and a strike to Logan. Ishida leads off second. Reached on an error and then stole second base. 2-1 pitch to Logan. Fastball down low. 3-1. He's already showing an ability to be patient and score without necessarily getting clean hits. 3-1. Johnson down and away, ball 4. So his third walk already puts Hunter Logan on, and it turns the lineup over for the Athletics as Logan Kelly will come to the plate. So Kelly and Snodgrass, the CSU Pueblo members of the Athletics, who sit at the top of the A's order, are very aggressive hitters and show their ability to swing it, but right now Johnson trying to find a smoother command, better feel for his pitches. 2 outs, 2 on, and Kelly checks his swing, but it's a called strike. Like an off-speed pitch, maybe a changeup down and in. First pitch changeup. Might have just even been a sinker. Had a lot of downward movement. 0-1 to the center fielder Kelly. 1 pitch, breaking ball, hangs inside, doesn't get the call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ishida kind of stuck on second since getting there with 1 out. Hunter Logan leads on first. 1-1 pitch from Johnson. Is a fastball in the outside corner. And it's 1-2. Only took 12 pitches for Christian Johnson to get through the first. He's had to labor. He's thrown more than 12 of the last 3 batters here in the second. And Kelly stings the 1-2 into center. Long run for Gill. Center fielder back at the warning track. Reaches up and makes the catch to the right of the SoFi sign. And ends the inning. But the A's do get a run. No hits in the inning. They leave 2 stranded. Through 2 innings here at Tuchanski Park, it's the Saints 2, the Athletics 1 on the Athletics streaming network. This season, when you're watching the Fresno A's on the Athletics Streaming Network, you can support the Athletics on their GoFundMe page. Search Fresno Athletics on GoFundMe to support your favorite team this season. Miles Harrison back out there after his team gets a run, but the Saints lead 2-1, and the Saints will have 2, 3, 4 Gill, Hirschberger, and Ortega due up against the righty Harrison here in the third. First pitch fastball. Gets ahead 0-1. Harrison winds and deals, and a breaking ball popped up behind the plate. Will reach the seats. And Harrison quickly ahead of Gill, 0-2. Gill singled for the Saints back in the first, but was left stranded in that inning. Breaking ball cued up the first base line. DeMaria will pick it up on the cutout and race to first to beat Gill to the bag for the first out of the third inning. So great job by Harrison. Shows you the difference and how well his stuff plays when he's ahead of the count, as he induced real soft contact. One out, nobody on. Kai Hirschberger, left-hand hitter, will stand in against Miles Harrison. Out of the wind, Harrison deals, and that is on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1 Saints. They scored in each of the first two innings after leadoff walks in those innings. Harrison's 0-1, and the fastball is fought off foul above the Saints dugout on the third base side. Got rejected by the second deck's railing. And came trickling back down to the Saints dugout. 0-2. Harrison ahead of Hirschberger. Changeup fought off. Hirschberger piped out to the third baseman, Robinette. That was the first out that Harrison got in that first inning. And then after an RBI double, you got Matt Hammond to fly out to right. And the Athletics turn 2 on the play. 0-2 pitch. Harrison deals. Changeup. Gets the swing. And Hirschberger knew it. Couldn't check. And there's 2 away in the third. So Harrison's come out aggressive. And he made a really good adjustment to start this inning. Almost looks more balanced in the windup. As he gets a quick 2 outs now, Cesar Ortega, who hit the double, will come to the plate with nobody on. And a fastball on the outer part of the plate, right at the belt for a called strike, 0-1. Harrison ahead and trying to neutralize the Saints' bats. 0-1 pitch. On the outside corner again with a fastball called strike. Ortega takes a walk as Harrison trying to work quickly through the third, get his team back to the plate. 0-2 pitch. Harrison winds and deals. And it's skied into right field. Snodgrass started back, pointing at it in the sky, tracking it, reaches up, gliding to his left over his left shoulder, and ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Harrison in the third. To the bottom of the inning, it's the South Bay Saints 2, the Athletics 1. This is the Athletics Streaming Network. New pitcher for the South Bay Saints will be Anthony Rubio, who will take over here in the third inning with a 2-1 lead. He'll face Snodgrass, Weigash, and Demaria after 2 innings from Christian Johnson, in which he walked 3, gave up 1 unearned run. And it's Rubio who spins in a slider to Snodgrass. Snodgrass popped out to right field his first time up. Bottom of the third inning. Rubio slings it in there, and another breaking ball bounced up the third base coach's box, 0-2. So much different look than Johnson, who came pretty much directly over the top. Rubio almost a pure side armor. At least a real low 3/4 release coming from behind the right-hand hitter. Ahead of Snodgrass, 0-2 to start the third. There's a fastball sprayed out into right center field and into the gap. Snodgrass will take a turn, but it's cut off by Hirschberger, which will hold the leadoff man at first. And there's the first hit of the game for the Athletics here in the third. No hits surrendered by Johnson. He struck out 1 in 2 innings of work, walked 3. It has to be considered an unearned run because the error charged to the third baseman Galvin back in the second. Here's Weigash, and he watches a fastball tail up and away, ball 1. 2-1 Saints in the bottom of the third. But Cade Snodgrass a big lead on first as the A's trying to answer back a little bit more. Fastball a little too low to Weigash. 2 balls in, no strikes. 2-0 pitch outside. Should be 3-0 to the Athletics' second baseman. And the pitch up and away, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk. A's have already drawn 4 today. And it's first and second with nobody out ahead of Cameron Demaria. First pitching change of the game brought to you by Demaria Law Firm, the premier insurance defense, school defense, and employment defense law firm in the Central Valley. Proud supporters of the Fresno Athletics. 2 on and nobody out ahead of Cameron Demaria. He's trailing by a run. First pitch breaking ball hits Demaria and will load the bases. So already reminiscent of the A's third inning in Game 2 Wednesday night, which they utilized 4 free passes. Here it's a hit and 2 freebies in front of Bryce Robinette. He walked and scored back in the second. The A's lone run, they have a chance to not only tie this game, but take the lead. Rubio's first pitch, a pop-up into shallow right center field. That's a long run, and nobody's going to get there. It drops in, everybody up 90 feet. In to score is Snodgrass, and Bryce Robinette has tied this game with a flare single to right. It's even at 2 here in the second, with nobody out ahead of Parker Cristal. And immediately the Saints bullpen will be called to action as Colin McNeil walks down the left field line. As Rubio quickly works a fastball in. Rubio's come and set real briefly. Interested how long they honor that pause. Bases loaded for the A's in a 2-2 game. Rubio's 0-1 pitch, and Cristal fouls it back. As Rubio gets ahead 0-2. Leadoff single by Snodgrass. Wygosh walked. DeMaria hit by a pitch, and then Robinette flared a single into right. The A's have already scored here in the third to tie it. 0-2 pitch to Cristal, and a breaking ball fought back off the screen and out of the camera view. Nice catch by Sotaro Ishida on the ricochet off the netting. Right in the on-deck circle. Bags are full for Cristal. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball down and away. It momentarily got away from the catcher Ortega, but he's able to regroup. Not far enough for the base runner on third, Wygosh, to risk it. Plus, there's nobody out here in the third. He's playing for a crooked number. Rubio misses with a fastball. That was halfway in the left-hand batter's box. That sent Ortega diving to keep Wygosh at third again. Chance for the A's to take their first lead of the day. Wygosh on third, DeMaria on second, and the runner on first is Robinette. This is popped up behind the plate. It will reach the seats. We're tied at 2 after the Saints scored the first 2 runs of the game. The A's have answered back with a run in the second, a run here in the third, but still nobody out. And the base is loaded against Anthony Rubio. 2-2 pitch to Cristal. Breaking ball grounded through the left side and into left field. In to score is Wygosh. Everybody else up 90 feet as well. RBI knock from Cristal. And the A's have a 3-2 lead. That was a great at-bat from Parker Cristal as he fell behind 0-2 quickly. He's battles back, gets it through the left side. It is the 5th consecutive hitter to reach here to start the third. Now Sotaro Ishida, who reached on an error back in the second. Hits with the bases loaded, nobody out. Takes a fastball on the upper outer corner for strike one. DeMaria on third, Robinette on second, Cristal on first. A's with a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the third. 0-1 pitch. Rubio's breaking ball bends in at the belt for strike two. Both of those really good pitches from Rubio to jump ahead of his second consecutive batter. 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball off the plate. Ishida taking, and it's a 1-2. Rubio got a little too careful to Cristal, who fought off some good pitches. Ishida trying to replicate the good at bat. 1-2. Swung on and missed. The fastball, and that was a well-pitched at bat by Anthony Rubio to get the first out of the third. Snap a string of 5 consecutive A's to reach base in the inning. Bases are still loaded, 1 out, and Hunter Ariano got a quick scouting report from Ishida. DeMaria off third, Robinette off second, Cristal off first. 1 away in the third. Ariano taking. Fastball on the outside corner again at the top of the zone. 0-1. Rubio starting to command that two-seamer. 0-1 pitch. Deals, and Ariano takes the fastball high. They're going to appeal to Trey Harmon, the base umpire, who's at shortstop, who says there was not a hint of a swing there from Ariano, and so the count evens at 1-1. 2 runs across already in this inning for the A's to take their first lead, trying to add to it with Ariano in the third. 1-1. Fastball at the belt. Called strike, and it's a 1-2. Ball, when it's reaching the belt, is coming up at least 6 inches from where Rubio releases it. That's what the A's hitters have not seemed to like. 1-2. That's too high. And they won't even appeal that one. Although the Saints dugout was looking for Ariano, maybe didn't check his swing. 2-2 to the A's catcher. One away in the third. Rubio's pitch. Ariano fights it foul. There's that two-seam fastball that Rubio's been starting to command. He's working good at bats here in the third. And it forced Rubio to throw pitches. Breaking ball too low. Might have hit the dirt by the time he got to the catcher Ortega, and the count is full 3-2. Ariano trying to extend the Athletics lead here in the bottom of the third. Rubio's payoff pitch is down and in, and it's going to get away for ball four. Demarius scores everybody up 90 feet. And they will hold there, even though that ball got to the screen. It's 4-2 Athletics. And Hunter Logan will come to the plate. Activity continuing in the Saints bullpen. It is still Colin McNeil. But right now, this appears to be Anthony Rubio's inning. So Robinette up to third, Cristal to second, Ariano to first. One away, and the first pitch is down to Hunter Logan. And it's 1-0. Logan walked his first time up. Already the eighth batter of the inning for the A's. They pushed across 3 runs in this third inning. 1-0 pitch. Down and away as Ortega goes diving to his right to prevent a wild pitch. It's 2 balls in, no strikes. Two and 0 to Logan. And the fastball is away for ball 3. So command, walks, free passes have been a challenge for the Saints pitching in the early going. And the A's remaining disciplined here in the third. 3-0 pitch poured in. And it's 3 balls and a strike to Hunter Logan. 8th hitter of the inning for the A's. They've gotten all 3 of their hits in this inning. Capitalized on a couple of walks and a hit batter as well. Rubio's 3-1. And Logan swings through a fastball tailing in, and the count full 3-2. 4-2 Athletics. We're in the home half of the third. Payoff pitch to Logan. Rubio misses way outside ball 4. Second straight batter that forces in a run via a walk. And the A's have made it 5-2 with a 4-run third. And Cesar Ortega is out of the dugout for the Saints with the reliever warming. Rubio came out and got ahead of Snodgrass early. Then after the single, seemed to lose command. 5 straight pitches out of the zone. Robinette flared a single. He seemed to regroup against Cristal, got ahead 0-2, but then Cristal, the DH, worked a great at bat and ended up singling in a run through the left side. Rubio did strike out Ishida, but then walks to Ariano and Logan have ended his outing. New pitcher coming in for the Saints. This pitching change brought to you by Demaria Law Firm, the premier insurance defense, school defense, and employment defense law firm in the Central Valley. Proud supporters of the Fresno Athletics. And we're brought to you by Bud's Gun Shop. Be on the lookout for the Bud's Gun Shop shot of the game during the Athletics postgame show later today. New pitcher for the Saints. Tell you about him when we come back. 5-2 A's still in the third. A 4-run inning for Fresno on the Athletics streaming network. 5-2 Athletics. We're still in the third inning here at Chukchanski Park. Tim Slack filling in for Brian Welch. He'll be back in on Tuesday. My last day with you, though, so we appreciate the patience. So we had some technical issues after the delay. The new pitcher for the Saints is Colin McNeil, 6-foot right-hander from L.A. out of El Camino College. Is going to face the top of the A's lineup. 1 out and the bases loaded. Logan Kelly coming to the plate after Anthony Rubio left the bases loaded for McNeil. 5-2 A's lead. And the first pitch fastball high from McNeil. It's 1-0. Ninth batter of the inning for the A's, who were down 2-1 when this inning started. They've scored 4 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, and a hit batter. The 1-0 pitch. And McNeil watches it on the outside corner for a strike. Ortega throws behind the runner at first, but Hunter Logan's back in with a dive. So it should be 1-1 to Logan Kelly. Parker Cristal on third, Ariano at second, Logan at first. The 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Ortega. And the count is 2 balls and a strike to the Athletics center fielder. The top of the A's lineup trying to extend this lead. 4 runs already across in this inning. The bases are loaded with just 1 out. 2-1 pitch to Kelly is a fastball cued back to the mound. McNeil on the soft flubber gets it out of his glove, and a slow flip to the plate does get Cristal for the second out of the inning, but that is it. Ball was hit slow, and then McNeil had a tough time getting it out of his glove. But the important part for the Saints was he did get the out. So the bases are loaded, 2 outs. And Cade Snodgrass is to the plate. He started this inning with a single. That was against Anthony Rubio. First pitch, fastball, dots the outside corner. Great location from Colin McNeil. Coming in calm and composed. And just trying to get the ball over the plate. Breaking ball lined into left field, but it hooks foul and bounces off of the bullpen mounds. As McNeil jumps ahead of Snodgrass 0-2. Snodgrass 1 for 2. The single and the run scored to start this inning. A 4-run third for the A's. They'd like to get a little bit more with the bases loaded here in the third. McNeil's 0-2 pitch. Fastball way high above the helmet, but it was almost exactly where Ortega was asking for it. And it's 1-2. See if he comes back with another breaking ball, although McNeil shaking to the pitch he wants. 1-2. And it's off the plate away. Another fastball, it looked like, maybe a cutter. 2-2. McNeil very composed and deliberate on the mound. Just trying to find his spots. 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball. Hangs high. And the count is full. So nowhere to put Snodgrass. He's with a 4-run inning. Up 5-2. And the runners will be in motion with the wind. There's the pitch. And Snodgrass fouls it back. Everybody got a really late jump. And so as they reset with Ariano at third, Logan at second, and Kelly at first, imagine them to get a bit better of a lead this time around. Out of the wind, here's the pitch, and a fastball cut on and missed as Snodgrass went chasing out of the zone. So Colin McNeil comes in and does a terrific job and gets 2 outs in the batters he faces. But the A's put up 4 runs against the Saints bullpen, and they have their first lead. To the fourth we go. It's 5-2 Athletics on the Athletics streaming network. This season, when you're watching the Athletics on the Athletics Streaming Network, you can support the A's on their GoFundMe page. Search Fresno Athletics on GoFundMe to support your favorite team this season. Matt Hammond, Joey McCormick, and Noble Ortega do up against Miles Harrison, with the A's now in front, 5-2, start of the fourth. Hammond flew out to right field in that inning-ending double play in the first when things started to turn towards the A's. First pitch down to Hammond, and it's 1-0. Hammond flew out to right, and then it was Ortega, the catcher, who got doubled off a second trying to get a jump on the ball. This ball is sky deep into right field. Snodgrass back well in front of the warning track in right field, makes the catch. And that is the first out of the fourth. Hammond thought he got it, and maybe with a metal bat or a different park he might have, but not to that part of the yard here, as there's one away in the top of the fourth. Joey McCormick, the second baseman, walked to start the second. That was the last run that the Saints were able to push across against Harrison, who's out there working with a lead for the first time. Breaking ball, cut on and miss. It's 0-1. It was an unearned run as McCormick scored on what kind of worked out to a double steal. Errant throw by the catcher Ariano, trying to get the runner at second. Another breaking ball, another strike from Harrison. He's ahead 0-2 of the Saints second baseman. One away in the fourth. Harrison winds and deals his 0-2 pitch. McCormick fights off a fastball over the A's bullpen down the right field line. Count stays. No balls, 2 strikes. Left-hander warming up for the Athletics. And he just heard look out. Harrison has been good since that leadoff walk in the second has really seemed to settle in. 0-2 pitch. Fastball upstairs. McCormick lays off of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Saints scored the first 2 runs, capitalizing on leadoff walks by Harrison. But the right-hander is regrouped, and his team has gotten him some run support. Breaking ball in the dirt. McCormick able to take that as well. So the 0-2 count goes to a 2-2 count after a high fastball and a breaking ball in the dirt. 2-2 to McCormick. Harrison pauses in his delivery and delivers a fastball tipped in and out of the glove of Ariano. And now Matt Brown is going to go check with Trey Harmon to see if there was a tip. I think that was touched in and out of the glove by McCormick. Ariano and McCormick are both confused. And they'll say he didn't get the ball. It was a swing and a miss that dropped out of the glove, and so that's a strikeout. And McCormick is out number 2. And I don't think McCormick thought he got a piece of it, as he didn't seem to protest at all. Noble Ortega, who struck out his first time, will come to the plate. And Harrison deals a fastball outside, 1-0. Ortega was the first strikeout victim for Harrison. He now has 3 with that punch out of McCormick. The 1-0 pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. That was some serious velocity up around the letters of Ortega, 1-1. 2 outs in the top of the fourth, a 5-2 Athletics lead. Harrison trying to get his bats back up to the plate, and Ortega fights a fastball back behind the plate, 1-2. He's getting that run support with 1 in the second and 4 in the third for the righty Harrison, trying to get another shutdown inning. 1-2, Fandat to end the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the fourth for Miles Harrison, and he's got his shutdown inning as he's retired the last 7 hitters he's faced. To the bottom of the fourth, Athletics leading 5-2 on the Athletics streaming network. Middle of the Athletics lineup looking to extend a 5-2 lead in the bottom of the fourth against Colin McNeil, who came in and did a great job. And he gets Cody Weigosh to fail at the first bunt attempt. And it's 0-1. Weigosh walked twice against two different pitchers, the starter Christian Johnson, and then Anthony Rubio back last inning in the third. He swings at a breaking ball, grounds it to second. McCormick, the second baseman, moving to his left, fields and throws to retire Weigosh to start the fourth inning. So all Colin McNeil has done is come in and get 3 outs. And that slowed the Athletics attack, who capitalized against Anthony Rubio. You can close the book on the first 2 pitchers for the Saints. The starter Johnson, 2 innings, didn't allow a hit, but 1 unearned run after walking 3 and striking out 1. Rubio just a third of an inning, 3 hits, 3 walks, and a hit batter. And all 4 of those runs in the third were charged earned against Rubio. DeMaria, who is 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch. Takes a breaking ball for a strike from McNeil. 0-1 fastball, just off the plate away to the 6'9 Cameron DeMaria. Maybe a little low, too. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball. Flared into right field. Long run for Hirschberger. It's the second baseman, McCormick, going out, and he slides and he can't catch it. It drops in and ricochets into the Athletics bullpen. DeMaria to second. I think that's got to be a hit. We'll see how it is scored, as that is a really tough play for the second baseman, McCormick, going out. It is ruled a double for Cameron DeMaria. And there's 1 on and 1 out for Bryce Robinette. He has scored both times he has come to the plate, walked and singled, and he drove in a run, a part of that 4-run third inning. Chance to add to a 5-2 lead. First time we're going to see McNeil out of the stretch, and he pours in a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. The word I'd use for Colin McNeil is composed. He just comes in with a plan of exactly where he wants to put the baseball. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So now, after inheriting the mess with the bases loaded and 1 out in the third, and he got the Saints out of that, talked about composure, and he gets away with stepping off and changing his feet. He was about to go out of the windup and thought better of it. 1-1 pitch. Fastball fouled off. And Robinette in a 1-2 hole. That's what I'm talking about, the composure of McNeil. And he got lost, forgot about the runner at second, regrouped, and makes a good pitch. 1-2. DeMary got a huge jump, and then it's driven into left field. DeMary is going to score a base hit. And right as I was praising McNeil, he got a little too locked in. It's an RBI hit for Robinette, but give a huge RBI assist to the base runner, DeMaria, who was 90% of the way to third before the ball got thrown. So it's 6-2 Athletics. They've scored in each of the last 3 runs. They finally get to McNeil after he retired the first 3 batters he faced. Now it's Parker Cristal, 1 for 2. The RBI knocked his last time up. There goes the runner. Pitches outside. Throw down from Ortega's a good one, and they got him. Robinette caught stealing, and it was a great jump by Robinette, which means the throw from Ortega was phenomenal. He threw it pretty much from the crouch. It was a called ball to Cristal. But that throw was incredible. 1-0 pitch. There's 2 away now, nobody on. And it's 2-0 to Cristal as McNeil misses high with the fastball. So the Athletics kind of took McNeil's composure as he wasn't paying attention to base runners. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball, too low. 3 balls in, no strikes. To the DH, Cristal. But the Saints defense helping out their reliever. 3-0 pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen. Cristal with the green light. And it's 3-1. Great day for baseball at Chansky Park. It's going to be a great week as well as the A's continue the homestand against a couple of teams this week. Fastball cut on and miss. Cristal chases maybe ball 4. Might have been on the outer part of the plate, but it runs full regardless. 3-2. 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. It's 6-2 Athletics lead after they were trailing 2-0. McNeil's payoff pitch. Fastball skied into right center field. Hirschberger, the right fielder, calling off the second baseman McCormick as he was sprinting in to make the catch. And in the inning, the A's add a run to the lead. DeMaria's double, singled home by Robinette. And the Athletics, after 4, lead the Saints 6-2 on the Athletics streaming network. Fresno Athletics baseball brought to you by Bud's Gun Shop. Be on the lookout for the Bud's Gun Shop shot of the game during the Athletics postgame show today. It's been a good balanced attack from the Athletics so far, and they lead 6-2 after 4. Miles Harrison back out there. He had kind of a troublesome first couple of innings in which he walked the leadoff man and had to labor to 43 pitches after those first 2. He threw 10 pitches apiece in each of the last 2 scoreless innings. He's at 63 pitches after 4, kind of get back on track, and he's retired the last 7 he's faced. And the lead and the run support that he's been given has only grown since he's locked in right-hander from Central Arizona College, a junior college powerhouse out there. A couple of national championships that he's feeding into. He'll face Galvin, Mora, and Rodriguez. 8, 9, and 1 in the Saints order. They haven't scored since the second. And Galvin watches away for ball one. Mora is actually the last hit for the Saints. Galvin flew out to the center fielder Kelly his first time. 1-0. Harrison winds and deals. And a fastball fought off foul off to the right-hand side. 1-1. 6-2 Athletics. They have scored 6 straight runs since the Saints had the 2-0 lead after their second at bat. Harrison's 1-1. Breaking ball. A soft liner to second on a hop. It's picked up by Wygosh, who fields and throws over to first, and Galvin is retired to start the fifth. 1 away ahead of the shortstop, Eric Mora. Mora single and stole second in the second inning, but was left there. And it is now 8 retired consecutively for Harrison since that. First pitch is a breaking ball on the outside corner. Gets the call for strike one. Talked about McNeil's composure, but the way that Harrison has settled in on the rubber. Trying to complete his 5th inning of work. Slider in the dirt. Evens up the count at 1-1. What a difference getting ahead of hitters has made for Miles Harrison in this game. 1-1 pitch. Fastball chopped foul. The dugout behind him. And it's 1-2. Almost sounded like a piece of bamboo breaking. The pink bat of Mora seems to be intact. 1-2 to the Saints shortstop with 1 away in the 5th. Harrison's fastball popped up in foul territory. DeMaria coming over towards the A's dugout, reaches over and couldn't squeeze it. Not sure if that hit the netting. DeMaria running up against a bunch of teammates who were trying to support him. He got a piece of it at some point. I don't know if that hit something else first, though. Give him the benefit of the doubt. 1-2 to the shortstop Mora. 6-2. Fresno leading in the top of the 5th. 1 out, nobody on. Harrison winds and deals. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball, check swing comes screaming back to the net. Count remains 1-2. 1-2 pitch again from Harrison. Breaking ball is skied into left field. Ishida coming in and will reach up to make the catch for the second out in the 5th. So a little bit longer at bat from Eric Mora. But Harrison extends his consecutive out streak to 9. As he has retired everybody in the Saints order since they took that 2-0 lead. Now Danny Rodriguez, 0 for 1, popped out to short to start that streak. Left-hand hitter and the leadoff man for the Saints. Watches on the outside corner for strike one. It's the 71st pitch of the outing for Harrison. And while there is activity in the Athletics bullpen, Harrison has locked in. Trying to at least qualify for a victory should the A's hold on. This is popped up into shallow left field. Logan, the shortstop, backing up into the outfield grass, makes the catch, calling everybody off to end the 5th. 10 straight retired by Miles Harrison And as we head to the bottom of the fifth, the Athletics lead the Saints 6-2 on the Fresno Athletics streaming network. Six to two, the Fresno Athletics lead the South Bay Saints in the bottom of the fifth inning. Ishida, Ariano, and Logan do up against Colin McNeil, who came on at the end of the third inning for the Saints. Third pitcher of the game for South Bay. Ishida 0 for 2 officially, reached on an error and struck out. And he pops up the first pitch he sees from McNeil behind the plate. Ortega loses the mask on the edge of the cutout, makes the catch, and Ishida retired on one pitch to start the fifth inning. Brian Welch will be back on Tuesday, so all the picture and audio qualities will be much improved when he returns. Appreciate you bearing with us this morning. As we got the audio smoothed out, the A's got the offense going. They've scored the last 6 runs. McNeil has stemmed the tide a little bit for the Saints, but he misses inside to Hunter Ariano. Catcher without an official plate appearance today. His a sacrifice fly and a walk, driven in 2 of the A's runs. McNeil with a really late breaking curveball, but it's up and out for ball 2 to the A's catcher Ariano. 6-2 Athletics, playing in the bottom of the fifth. McNeil's fastball swung on and missed. 2 balls and a strike to Ariano. Beautiful day, beautiful morning here at Chansky Park. It's going to get up near 90 degrees today. 2-1, breaking ball, drops in for strike 2. But the A's will be back in action tomorrow night. 2-2 pitch. Ariano grounds it up the third baseline and fair. Off of the third baseman Galvin, and then he gets stuck under the padding. Ariano's going to have a double. As that ball well placed over the bag down the third base line. And Ariano aboard with 1 out and in scoring position in front of Hunter Logan. Logan has walked twice, forced in a run his last time up. 6-2 Athletics, looking to score for the 4th consecutive inning. And looking to keep momentum after they were down 2-0. First pitch to the shortstop Logan. McNeil deals, and it's a swing and a miss. That looked like a cutter from McNeil. Not overpowering, but he has shown good command of multiple pitches. And trying to keep the A's off balance. 0-1. Breaking ball popped up right side. 0-2. Fresno has taken some really great at-bats. And McNeil, who had stopped kind of the offense from rolling, is still having to work here in the 5th. He'll step off as Ariano was off a second, but the middle infielders weren't holding him on as tightly, I think, as McNeil was expecting. 0-2. Fastball wasn't quite as high as Ortega wanted it, but it's fouled off by Hunter Logan. Count stays 0-2 to the Athletics shortstop with one away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Athletics leading 6-2, and Hunter Ariano's double has put yet another runner in scoring position for the A's. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ortega blocks it. Ariano scrambled off of second base. He got halfway to third. But that ball was maybe 70 feet away from third base. Would have been an easy throw for Ortega, who showed off his arm last inning, cutting down Robinette on an attempted steal. That was a play that Robinette had a huge jump against McNeil. 1-2 to Logan. McNeil delivers, and it's a fastball down low. That will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the 5th, in the bottom of the Athletics lineup. The 8 and 9 hitters that have driven in 3 of the 6 runs for the A's today, trying to cause more trouble. 2-2, breaking ball, chopped slowly to short. Charging in is Mora, gloves it, throws on the run, in time. Great play to get his counterpart, Hunter Logan, out. And Eric Mora, with time to go to the glove and make the exchange, did everything with perfect timing to get the second out. Ariano does scoot over to third. There's 2 outs in the inning, and the Saints are bringing the infield in. They just kind of figured out that there were 2 outs, and instead Cesar Ortega backs off the infield. That allows McNeil to go from the line. Here's the center fielder, Logan. That ball goes to the screen. Ariano coming in. He will score, and the A's get their run in the 5th. 4 straight innings in which they have scored, and it's 7-2 Fresno. Go with a wild pitch on McNeil as Logan Kelly still looking for his first hit. 0 for 3. 2 away in the 5th. Fastball down and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Two-0 pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Good spot from McNeil. 2-1. 7-2 Athletics. Run in the second, 4 in the third, run in the 4th, and a run in the 5th. 2-1. Down and out with the fastball. 3 balls and a strike. Saints looking to McNeil to eat up innings, and while he has looked good, the A's have still pushed across 2 runs against him. This is off the end of the bat, and that sliced the baseball. Leather. Yeah, ball got cut open on its way back to the plate. So the count's full to Logan Kelly with 2 away in the 5th. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball lined to second. McCormick to his right. Catches it as it's sinking down to end the inning. But the double by Ariano, he comes around to score on a wild pitch. And as we finish 5, the Athletics are in control, up 7-2 on the Athletics streaming network. Fresno Athletics leading the South Bay Saints 7-2 at Chansky Park. Started the 6th inning, and it's time for an athletics pitching change brought to you by DeMaria Law Firm, the premier insurance defense, school defense, and employment defense law firm in the Central Valley. Proud supporters of the Fresno Athletics. Braden Parmley from Porterville College. The Southpaw takes over for Miles Harrison, who was fantastic settling in after a little shaky command over the first 2 innings. 2 leadoff walks came around to score, but he was excellent after that. 5 total innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, struck out 4, and just the 2 free passes, and stands in line for the win. Parmley will take over to face Gill, Hirschberger, and Ortega. 2, 3, 4 in the Saints lineup. Gill 1 for 2, and the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Saints scored the first 2 runs in the game with a run in the first and a run in the second. It's been all athletics since, as Gill swings through a fastball. And Parmley evens the count at 1-1. Southpaw threw 17 1/3 innings in the spring at Porterville. It's a fastball up and in that Gill swings through. 1-2. One-two pitch. Change up, got a swing and a miss as Gill chases it away. And that's a first out in the 6th inning. Kai Hirschberger will hit. He's 0 for 2. Lefty-lefty matchup with 1 out and nobody on in the 6th. Lefty kicks and deals, and a breaking ball is driven into center field. Kelly cruising into his left makes the catch. And there's quickly 2 outs in the Saints half of the 6th inning. Parmley with a 4-pitch strikeout of Gill and then a 1-pitch fly out off the end of the bat of Hirschberger. Now has nobody on, 2 outs. Head of Ortega, switch hitting catcher, stands in from the right side. He doubled in a run back in the first, and he watches a fastball down low for ball 1. A's have made some really good adjustments to the Saints lineup. And Miles Harrison got it started as Parmley skips one in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. The Saints haven't had a base runner since the 2nd. A hit by Mora. 2-0 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, 2-1. Harrison retired the last 10 he faced. And Braden Parmley trying to work out of this 7th. The 2-1 pitch is a fastball up around the letters that Ortega swings through. And the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Parmley delivers. Fastball down and in. The count runs full, 3-2. 7-2 Athletics lead. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Saints looking for a base runner. The payoff pitch is tipped in and out of the glove of Ariano. Similar situation on the strikeout of McCormick in the 4th, in which he didn't get a piece of it and kind of gave himself away. Ariano was hustling to make sure. Payoff pitch once again. This is to Ortega, breaking ball. Shot foul into the second deck down the right field line. And we'll do it again. Ortega making him work. Payoff pitch is lined to second and through into right center field. A base hit for Cesar Ortega. That snaps a stretch of 12 straight retired by Athletics pitching. And the Saints have their first base runner since the second. There'll be a pinch hitter as Justin Holt will hit for Hammond. Hammond, who is 0 for 2. I think he was a left-hand hitter too, so they get the right-hand hitting Holt in to face the lefty Parmley. Misses outside with ball 1. Runner on, 2 outs in the 6th. Parmley gets a swing and a miss. Count even at a ball and a strike. 2 away in the 6th. Parmley got a strikeout of Gill, a fly out of Hirschberger. His 1-1 up and away. Pops out of the glove of Ariano, and up to second goes Ortega. I think that'll be a pass ball. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Holt, pinch hitting here in the 6th. As the Saints trying to break through for the first time since the 2nd. 7 unanswered runs hung up by Fresno. And South Bay clamoring for some offense. 2-1 pitch from Parmley. Fastball fouled straight back. And the count is even, 2-2. Runs in the 1st and 2nd after leadoff walks, but since Fresno has cleaned that up, Saints have been in search of offense. 2-2 pitch from Parmley. Breaking ball. Chopped to second. Weigosh waits back. High hop. Snags it on his left shoulder. Fields and throws to first in the inning. So the 2-out hit from Ortega does give the Saints their first base runner since the 2nd, but it's left stranded. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th. Fresno Athletics in front, 7-2 on the Athletics streaming network. Colin McNeil still out there in the bottom of the 6th after coming on in the 3rd inning and slowed down the Fresno offense that put up 4 in that inning. He didn't allow a run then, but the Athletics have scored 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th against him to extend the lead to 7-2. Now they'll send Snodgrass, Weigosh, and Demaria 2, 3, 4 against the Saints righty in the 6th. 5-run lead for the A's, and McNeil misses to Snodgrass outside with the fastball to start the bottom of the 6th. Snodgrass 1 for 3, singled and scored back in that 3rd inning. He cues the 1-0 up the first baseline foul. And it runs right into the Athletics dugout, so nobody has to go chasing it. Beautiful morning for baseball here at Chansky Park. 1-1 pitch is cued back to the screen, got it off the end of the bat. And it's 1-2. McNeil winds and deals. Snodgrass watches a breaking ball hang high. A lot of late movement from Colin McNeil. That ball didn't quite come down in time. 2-2 to Snodgrass, the right fielder batting in the 2 spot. Leading off this inning. 2-2, called strike 3, top of the zone. Snodgrass with a wry smile thought that might have been a little high. But that is the second strikeout for McNeil. He got 2 outs to end the 3rd inning, inherited the bases loaded, and punched out Snodgrass to end that frame, and he gets him looking here to start the 6th. Cody Weigosh will hit. He's 0 for 1, walked twice, and scored a run. And he takes inside as the fastball runs back to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes. Left-hand hitter Weigosh. And hung high by McNeil. 2 balls, no strikes. More activity in the Saints bullpen with another righty warming up. See how long McNeil can go, though. 2-0 pitch to Weigosh is lined into right field. Right at Hirschberger, who did some dancing, started in, went back to where he started from, and then makes the catch for out number 2. Now Cameron DeMaria doubled and scored back in the 4th, and he kind of broke up the rhythm that McNeil had established. McNeil had retired the first 3 guys he faced. DeMaria flared it into right field. Well, worked out for a double. Curveball is popped into left field. Long run for Rodriguez, who will track it down to end the inning. McNeil with a smooth 6th to retire the Athletics in order. First time the A's have gone 1-2-3 all game. So at the end of 6, Fresno still leads 7-2. This is the Fresno Athletics streaming network. Braden Parmley back on for his 2nd inning of work. He'll face McCormick, Ortega, and Galvin, 6, 7, 8 in the South Bay lineup, with the A's leading the Saints 7-2. Just 1 hit allowed by Parmley in relief, and he misses inside to McCormick, who is 0 for 1, walked and scored the last Saints run all the way back in the 2nd. That put him out in front 2-0, but it's been all Athletics since. Parmley misses away. 2 balls, no strikes. Miles Harrison settled in after that. Didn't allow a base runner after that inning. 2-0 pitch. McCormick watches a fastball on the outside corner, 2-1. Parmley's 2-1 pitch. Fastball up and away, 3-1 to the second baseman for the Saints. McCormick's been active offensively and defensively. A lot of activity out his way over at second base as the A's have tried to drive the ball to the right side much of the day. 3-1 from Parmley. That's down low. And there's a leadoff walk. So the second time in the game that McCormick has drawn a leadoff walk. And the last time was the last time that the Saints scored against Miles Harrison all the way back in the second. All the leadoff walks in this game have come around to score, and so the Saints hoping that that can help jumpstart their lineup. Noble Ortega has struck out twice, and he watches a breaking ball inside. Didn't quite come all the way back to catch the corner. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on first, McCormick. As Parmley deals a fastball high, that hits something and ricochets back to the on-deck circle for South Bay. Up to second goes McCormick. And so it's 2-0 to Noble Ortega. But a runner in scoring position for the Saints with nobody out here in the seventh. 2-0 from Parmley. It is off the hands and fought back to the netting. 2 balls and a strike. Two-one pitch. That one's fouled in and out of the glove of Ariano. And the catcher with the big XL looking at the home plate umpire, Matt Brown, saying, thanks for being clear, because McCormick was halfway to third. Fair amount of foul tips and balls have just popped out of catcher's gloves today on both sides. 2-2 from Parmley. Outside, Ariano squeezes that one. And the count full, 3-2 to Noble Ortega. Saints trying to mount a comeback, down 5 runs after they scored the first 2 runs of the game. The payoff pitch from Parmley. Breaking ball. Spoiled foul by Ortega. That was a great pitch and a great piece of hitting. I think Ortega happy to call that one a stalemate because Parmley made the pitch he wanted to. McCormick leads off second. Nobody out in the seventh for the Saints. Parmley trying to keep him there. Payoff pitch again to Ortega. Breaking ball again fought off. And a good battle between the Saints first baseman and the left-handed reliever for the A's. Braden Parmley clean 6th. Now dealing with a runner on second after the leadoff walk. Payoff pitch again to Noble Ortega. Breaking ball fought off for the 3rd straight time. Parmley's making some great pitches. Three-two. Parmley delivers. And that hit him. Ortega tried to bend out of the way. It would have been ball 4 anyways. And so 2 free passes to start the inning. Makes this a interesting start to the 7th. And Julian Galvin, 0 for 2, will come to the plate, trying to get the Saints a little bit closer. Their best chance since the second. Right-hand hitter against the lefty Parmley, and a fastball misses away, ball one. A walk to McCormick started the inning. He moved to second on a wild pitch, and then Noble Ortega was hit by a pitch in a full count. Now Ethan Winter, the Athletics pitching coach, will come out to try and reset his reliever. Reminder that we're brought to you by Bud's Gun Shop. Be on the lookout for the Bud's Gun Shop shot of the game during the Athletics postgame show. Trying to think of some of the big hits today. 10 hits in all. A lot of well-placed hits. Maybe Ariano's double bank in the fifth. Only other extra base hit in this game was DeMaria's double that dropped in on the right field line, kind of kicked away from McCormick. You have to give it some thought. Here's Galvin. Head in the count 1-0 against Parmley with first and second and nobody out in the seventh. Parmley regroups and catches the outside black for a strike. Good fastball in the outside corner. It's also a place that it's a really good location to go hunting for a ground ball. Parmley's 1-1. Fastball. Doesn't get the call. Up a little bit. In a similar location. It's 2 balls and a strike. Calvin being really patient right now. Not trying to help Braden Parmley out. 2-1 pitch in the dirt. Good block by Ariano. Runners go. Ariano recovers and throws to third. And Robinette recovers just to keep that ball from going to the outfield. So the runners up to second and third for the Saints. Infield remains back with a 5-run lead for the A's. Nobody out in the seventh, so they will concede a run to get an out here. 3-1 to Galvin. Parmley delivers, and it's popped up foul. 3-2. Bottom of the Saints lineup right now. And Braden Parmley, who worked through the 2, 3, 4, and 5 hitters last inning. Trying to hone in his command after a walk and a hit batter to start this frame. Payoff pitch. Parmley deals, and it's fouled right back. Credit the Saints hitters. McCormick patient to start the inning. Ortega fouled off a few pitches from Parmley. And now it's Galvin who's working the count. 3-2 pitch again. Parmley deals, tipped into the glove of Ariano. And Parmley does get a strikeout for the first out in the seventh. 1 out, 2 on, and Eric Mora, who's 1 for 2, coming to the plate. He's, of course, going to keep the infield back. They still want the outs to get out of this seventh. Parmley's first pitch. Upper outer corner gets the call, strike 1. All the pitchers who've been able to command out there today have had a lot of success. 0-1 pitch. Comes in, swing and a miss by Mora. And it's 0-2. So Parmley quickly ahead of the shortstop Mora with 1 out in the seventh. RBI situation for the Saints, the 0-2 pitch. Parmley delivers a fastball up and away. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. In case you're just joining us, the Saints had a 2-0 lead. The A's scored consecutively 7 runs. Another foul ball right back to the netting. And it stays 1-2. Parmley trying to work out of a jam. Set up by free passes here in the 7th. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball grounded to third. Fielded by Robinette. Going to tag the runner and throw to first. In time. Double play. And that ends the inning. No runs for the Saints as they run into the out. Parmley gets out of it with some help from Bryce Robinette's defensive gym. And the free passes left stranded. Stretch time at Chachansky Park. The Athletics lead the Saints 7-2 on the Athletics streaming network. Changes for both teams as we start the bottom of the 7th. The new pitcher is Nathan Houts for the South Bay Saints as the Fresno Athletics lead 7-2. And hitting for Bryce Robinette will be Jacob Maynor as he starts and takes a pitch down low. Good day for Robinette, who made a great double play to end that 7th. This pitching change brought to you by DeMaria Law Firm, premier insurance defense, school defense, and employment defense law firm in the Central Valley. Proud supporters of the Fresno Athletics. Maynor with a soft liner to short, tracked down by Mora. And that's the first out of the 7th. Fourth pitcher of the game for the Saints. Christian Johnson, the starter, went 2. They got 3 2/3 from Colin McNeil in relief of Anthony Rubio, who just went a third of an inning. As Parker Cristal takes a breaking ball for a strike. He's 1 for 3. The DH singled in a run back in the 3rd. Part of that 4-run inning that gave the A's the lead. They have built upon it against the Saints bullpen. Breaking ball down low from Houts. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to the Fresno Athletics DH this morning, I should say. And not even close to noon yet as Cristal fouls it back. And it's 1-2. Both of the runs that McNeil surrendered, earned. He didn't walk anybody, though. And struck out one in those 3 2/3. Cristal chops it towards third. It is foul. Up the third baseline, just missed the bag as Galvin was ready to let it go. And they say that the Saints switched their infielders. It's Mora now at third, so it was Galvin who made that play. Just noticing the jersey change. They switched around. Also, they've kept Justin Holt in the game to catch. This is lined into center field. A base hit for Cristal, a 2-hit game for the Athletics DH. 7th hit of the game for Fresno. And there's one out and a runner on for Sotaro Ishida. Looking for his first hit as an Athletic. 5-run lead for the A's. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Ishida, key at bat in that second. That kind of helped jumpstart the A's offense. As he turns on a breaking ball high into left field. Rodriguez drifting back. Rodriguez spinning, turning, and he gets turned around. It's going to bounce off the wall. Cristal will stop at second. As that ball bounced off the warning track, a moonshot over the head of Rodriguez in left. And that is going to be a long single for Sotaro Ishida. And another pinch hitter for the Athletics. Elijah Gary will hit for Ariano. 7-2 Athletics lead in the home half of the 7th. And there's 2 on and 1 out for Gary, who came in defensively in Game 2 Wednesday night. He'll take a strike here. And it's 0-1. The RBI sac fly in his first at-bat of the season. RBI situation here with 1 away and 2 on. And Gary lifts one into left field. It's Mora going out. The left fielder Rodriguez coming in. They'll give way to the shortstop Galvin, who will make the catch for the second out in the 7th. 2 away, 2 on, and another pinch hitter for the A's. This will be Gabriel Casares. A 7-2 Athletics lead in the 7th. And Oscar Hinojosa getting some guys their first at-bats of the summer. Cristal leads off second. Ishida, who gets his first hit as an Athletic, is on first. Cristal got a good jump off second, but too good. And Houts steps off and runs at the base runner. 2 out, 2 on. Casares flares one to second, right at McCormick, who circles around it to make the catch and in the inning. A's fail to score in the 7th. They get 2 hits. They leave them both stranded. We've completed 7 at Chachansky Park. The Fresno A's lead the South Bay Saints 7-2 on the Athletics streaming network. 7-2, the Fresno Athletics lead the South Bay Saints as we start the 8th inning now. Third inning of relief for Braden Parmley, who took over for Miles Harrison in the 6th. And he has worked around some trouble, gave up a 2-out single in the 6th to Cesar Ortega. And then gave up 2 free passes in the 7th, but the Saints ran into a double play to end that inning. They would have for sure got a run in. Had, I believe it was Noble Ortega, just stayed put. Defensively, Oscar Hinojosa is going to make some changes as Jacob Maynor remains in the game at third base. The shortstop is Gabriel Cazares, and Elijah Gary is behind the plate. Top of the lineup, Danny Rodriguez, Danny Gill, Kai Hirschberger for the Saints as Parmley misses in with the breaking ball 1-0. Rodriguez 0 for 2, walked and scored a run to start the game. But the A's have made some good adjustments, getting him to pop out to short twice. He swings through a fastball that's up and in. And Parmley able to even the count 1-1. 5-run Athletics lead, 7 unanswered for the A's since they trailed 2-0 in the second. Fastball runs high and tight, and that got the sleeve of Danny Rodriguez. He didn't argue with Matt Brown at all as that ran in. But I would believe it barely nicked the left fielder's right shoulder. Guy on nobody out, and another free pass to start an inning as Danny Gill comes to the plate 1 for 3. Parmley watches or throws a breaking ball in the dirt. Parmley delivers 1-0 pitch, chopped foul, hit Gill in the box. 1-1. The only game of this matchup between these two clubs. Athletics begin a series tomorrow evening against the Menlo Park Legends. This is grounded to short. Cazares bobbles it, will stay with it, throw to first. It's going to be late. A hard hit ball. We'll have runners on first and second for the Saints with nobody out. Would think that's going to be an error on the shortstop Cazares. They've not put it up on the board yet, as Kai Hirschberger will come to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Lefty-lefty matchup. Parmley misses with the breaking ball down low, 1-0. There is the second error of the game for the Athletics. Fastball in for a strike. Busy week to finish up the homestand, as I mentioned. Menlo Park here on the 3rd and the 4th, Monday and Tuesday, and then the Utah All-Stars will play a doubleheader here on Wednesday against the A's. Nice. Fastball in for a strike, and Parmley jumps ahead 1-2. Then they go up north. They'll see the Humboldt Crabs, Lincoln Potters, before coming back in the middle of the month. 1-2, Parmley deals. Hirschberger grounds it up the middle. The second, Weiberger steps on the bag, gets 1, throws it to first, gets 2. Perfectly placed double play. And Weigash was right in the correct spot for the third double play and the most traditional of the three that the A's have turned today. And the fly out to right, in which they doubled up the runner on second. And then last inning, the ground ball to third, in which Robinette tagged the runner, no force, and then threw to first. 2 outs. And here is Holt. Catcher came in, hitting for Ortega, and he'll take a strike. One and one. Of course, the runner Rodriguez at third with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch from Parmley is lined into left field. It hooks foul. And Parmley 1 strike away from stranding yet another South Bay Saint in scoring position. Seven to 2 Athletics. We're in the top of the 8th. Braden Parmley working around some free passes and trying to strand another runner. 1-2 pitch. Popped up right side. DeMaria, the first baseman, going out. Long run, and he won't get there as it bounces up right next to the padding in the right field line. Was not hit nearly high enough for either of the infielders to get over there. And then Snodgrass in straightaway right field. Not going to be able to track that one down in front of the bullpen. 1-2 to Holt. Parmley delivers, breaking ball outside, and it's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rodriguez hit by a pitch to start the inning, and then Gill reached on an error, but Parmley got Hirschberger to ground into a double play. Now trying to retire the catcher Holt and end the Saints' threat here in the 8th. Parmley kicks and delivers. A fastball got him. Swung on and missed. And Parmley gets through the 8th, the reliever with 3 scoreless innings for the Fresno Athletics. And for the second straight inning, the South Bay Saints leave a runner stranded at third. To the bottom of the 8th, the Fresno Athletics leading the South Bay Saints 7-2 on the Athletics Streaming Network. Fresno Athletics Baseball brought to you by Bud's Gun Shop. Be on the lookout for the Bud's Gun Shop shot of the game during the Athletics postgame show this morning. Fresno leading 7-2. Nathan Houts back on for his second inning of work for the South Bay Saints. And he will see the top of the Athletics lineup. Kelly, Snodgrass, and Wygosh all due up. Kelly will stand in 0 for 4. Saw the other 3 arms for the Saints. He has not seen Houts, and he swings and misses at a breaking ball. It's 0-1. Breaking ball. That's for a strike, and it's 0-2. And actually, correction, Kelly saw Johnson, but I don't know that he saw Rubio. Swing and a miss, and 3 pitches. Nathan Houts proven tough to be seen, and he gets the first out of the 8th. 1 out for Cade Snodgrass with nobody on in the bottom of the 8th. The A's leading 7-2. Snodgrass 1 hit and 4 at-bats. Struck out in both of his at-bats against Colin McNeil. Out's first pitch fastball on the outside black for strike 1. One pitch. Popped up. Right side. Second baseman McCormick will give way to the right fielder Hirschberger, who calls him off for a quick second out. And now it'll be up to Cody Weigeisch to extend this 8th inning. Fresno in front by 5 runs. Weigeisch without a hit so far in this one, 0 for 2, but he's walked twice. First pitch from Houts floats outside for ball 1. Right-hand pitcher Houts against the left-hand hitting Weigeisch. He's all their runs between the 2nd and the 5th, including that 4-run 3rd. As Houts skips a fastball in the dirt to make it 2-0. Fresno got a majority of its runs against Anthony Rubio, had the shortest outing of any of the Saints. Just recorded 1 out in that 3rd inning. Gave up 3 hits and 3 walks, and he is on the hook for the loss right now. 0-1 breaking ball. Scalded up the right field line and into the corner. Hirschberger is going to dig it out behind the bullpen. Weigeisch burning for second. Slides in feet first with a 2-out double. So the extra base hits today for Fresno have come down the lines. Hunter Ariano got one just over the bag at 3rd, all the way back in the 5th. And Weigeisch, with maybe one of the hardest hit balls of the game, gets it on the ground down the first base line. Cameron DeMaria has a double as well, but that was dropped in down the right field line. He'll hit with 2 outs and a runner on second as the A's try to extend their 7-2 lead. And he launches this into the left field corner, but it's going to hang up and in foul territory, no, in fair territory. Rodriguez makes the catch to end the inning. So the 2-out double is left stranded, and the A's will take a 5-run lead into the 9th. New pitcher coming in for the A's to close things out. It's 7-2 Athletics on the Fresno A's streaming network. Ninth inning here at Chachansky Park, and the Fresno A's trying to close out a 7-2 lead over the South Bay Saints, and they'll make a move for their third pitcher of the game. This pitching change brought to you by DeMaria Law Firm, the premier insurance defense, school defense, and employment defense law firm in the Central Valley. Proud supporters of the Fresno Athletics. Dylan Sinaway, the right-hander from the closest university to Chachansky Park, Fresno Pacific University, just a couple miles down the road, will make his Fresno A's debut. The right-hander made 5 appearances for the Sunbirds this year as a true freshman, and he was often called upon in some tough situations for FPU. And a couple of strikeouts in those outings. He will deal with Dylan Arai, Joey McCormick, and Noble Ortega. 5, 6, 7 in the Saints order. Arai pinch hit for Hammond back in the 6th, grounded out to second, and Sinaway blazes a fastball in there. It's 0-1. 7-2 Athletics in the 9th. Fresno trying to improve to 2-1 before a big series with the Menlo Park Legends. Two-seamer runs back on the outside corner for a called strike, and Sinaway jumps ahead of Arai. 0-2. Sinaway's 0-2 pitch. Fastball a bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stayed away and firm to the DH for the Saints. 1-2 pitch. Slider falls off the plate away. Now it's even to Arai, 2-2. Miles Harrison went 5 innings, shook off a slow start in the first couple, and retired the last 10 batters he faced. 2-2 fastball, cut on and miss, and Sinaway gets a strikeout to start the 9th. Braden Parmley was excellent in 3 innings of relief, allowed just 1 hit, worked around some trouble, walked 1 and hit 2, and left base runners stranded in every inning. 2-out hit allowed in the 6th. Leadoff batters put on in the 7th before he got a double play. Erased a hit batter in the 8th. McCormick grounds one to short. Cazares, a diving stop to his left, pops up and throws him out. What a play by Cazares. The shortstop ranging far to his left retires McCormick. And the Saints are down to their final out. I thought that ball was getting through up the middle, and Gabriel Cazares ranged far to his left with a sliding stop and a great throw for the second out. Now Noble Ortega, 0 for 2, is hit by a pitch. Trying to keep this going for South Bay, and he watches Sinaway skip a fastball in. 4-1. 2 away in the 9th. Sinaway trying to lock up a 7-2 victory for the A's. He misses low again to Ortega. 2 balls, no strikes. Saints had the first 2 runs of the game. We're up 2-0 before the A's came to the plate in the bottom of the 2nd. Fresno scored 7 consecutive runs before the 5th. 2-0 pitch on the outside corner. Ortega taking. And it's a called strike, 2-1. 1 in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd. A run in the 4th, and a run in the 5th for the A's. Grounded to 3rd. Maynard backing up, gets a hop in the middle of his body, throws high. DeMaria reaches and leaps, but it deflects off his glove, and this game will continue. And what I think will be the 3rd error of the game for the Athletics. And so Julian Galvin will hit the shortstop. 0 for 3. As Senaway goes out of the stretch. And this is chopped foul at the plate off the foot of Galvin. 1-1. Seven to 2 Fresno. In the top of the ninth, Galvin still trying to regroup and talking with the home plate umpire Matt Brown about just where that hit him in his foot. Felt a little uncomfortable and will regroup. 0-1 to Galvin. Off first Ortega. Senaway kicks and deals. Breaking ball off the plate. One ball, one strike. 2 outs in the ninth. Senaway's 1-1 pitch. Fastball fouled off the catcher, Gary. And the A's 1 strike away from grabbing their second win and second consecutive win here at Chukchanski Park. 1-2 pitch. Senaway delivers. Called ball. That looked really good. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Galvin. I think it was a little off the plate away. 2-2. Senaway deals. Runner goes, and it's lifted into right field. Long run for Snodgrass. Diving, he makes the catch, and that's the ball game. Cade Snodgrass with a sprinting, diving grab to finish this one, and the Fresno Athletics seal the win 7-2. We'll take a break, and then we'll wrap this one up on the Athletics postgame show. The final line, the South Bay Saints, 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. The Fresno A's, 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. Winning pitcher, Miles Harrison. The losing pitcher is Anthony Rubio. Both teams now 2-1. We'll take that break and then grab Oscar Hinojosa after we wrap it up on the Athletics postgame show. Fresno A's get their second consecutive win to start the 2024 season after they dropped the season opener on Wednesday night back at Chukchanski Park. I'm Tim Slack. This is the Athletics postgame show. The Fresno A's, for the 3rd consecutive game to start this season, played from behind. And starter Miles Harrison gave away a free pass at the start of the game to Danny Rodriguez. And that run came around to score on a Cesar Ortega RBI double that put the Saints up 1-0. The Saints would add a run in the second after another leadoff walk, this time to Joey McCormick. Wild pitch got him to second after, I believe it was a fly out, got him over to third. Then a double steal. Eric Mora took second. The throw from Hunter Ariano skipped into center, and that brought home McCormick to make it 2-0 Saints. But the Fresno A's offense would respond as Bryce Robinette drew a leadoff walk himself in the bottom of the second. And then after Sotaro Ishida reached on an error, Hunter Ariano got the run back with a sacrifice fly into center. Then it scored Robinette, and the A's were on the board against the Saints starter Christian Johnson. Johnson only went the 2 innings, and in the top of the third, after just a run of support, Miles Harrison locked in for the A's as he retired the side in order, getting Gill, Hirschberger, and Ortega in the third. And then the A's had their big moment against the Saints bullpen. And for the second consecutive game, it was a Wild reliever that Fresno jumped all over as Cade Snodgrass singled to start the inning. Wygash walked. DeMaria was hit by a pitch, and then Bryce Robinette singled in a run. Parker Cristal singled in another before Hunter Ariano walked to force in a run. Hunter Logan also walked to plate another run before Colin McNeil came in relief for the Saints and got out of that inning. But the A's scored 4 runs in that third to take a 5-2 lead, and that was a lead they would not relinquish as Fresno added a run on Cameron DeMaria's double with 1 out in the fourth. He came around to score, getting a great jump on a Bryce Robinette single into left field. That made it 6-2. The A's would get one more in the fifth after Hunter Ariano doubled down the third base line. And then he later scored on a wild pitch, and that made it 6-2. So after Harrison went to 5 strong, it was Braden Parmley, 3 innings of relief. And Parmley worked around some traffic, a 2-out hit in the 7th that he left stranded. He gave 2 free passes up in the 7th. Said that was actually the 6th that he worked around the 2-out single. In the 7th, a walk and a hit batter to start the inning, got the double play started by Robinette. And then in the 8th, worked around a hit batter as well, got another double play. And then Dylan Sinaway closed things out in the 9th as the A's win this one 7-2. South Bay Saints 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. The A's 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. Miles Harrison the win. He's 1-0. Losing pitcher is Anthony Rubio for the Saints. That game was 2 hours and 41 minutes. And joined now by head coach Oscar Hinojosa. And I apologize, that is a hot mic by a difference. But I tell you what, you guys are getting used to coming from behind early on. What impresses you the most about this team's resiliency?
Well, Tim, thanks for having me on the show. To answer the question, I mean, it's you can't. It's something that you can't see, but team chemistry is building really nicely in the dugout. There's this belief that we can do these things even when we're down. We did it in Game 2 and it started there, and then the momentum has carried over into today. And to be frank, with the guys that were on the mound today, we felt pretty good about it. And we knew that we were, our time would come and we'd be able to do some things.
Well, it seemed like that because as soon as you talk about chemistry, as soon as Miles Harrison saw a run go up on the board, he didn't even have a lead. He locked in and retired the last 10 batters he faced. What did you think about his outing and the way he regrouped after that second inning?
Fantastic. I mean, that's as good as it gets at any level. So for him to kind of have his struggles early on, but to work his way out of it, you talk about resiliency. That was his. His fastball he had good command of his fastball. He had a couple breakers and some changes, I think, that were working for him. and he'll speak about that in a little bit. But I'm very happy for him. A young man, out of Arizona, and still learning his way. But what a good outing for him today.
Well, he was fantastic. Another guy on the offensive and defensive side seemed like he came up big with either the glove or the bat in every spot. Bryce Robinette, he had a couple impressive defensive plays, started some double plays, but he was also the catalyst, got the walk that got you guys going in the second. What did you think of his presence both in the lineup and in the field?
I loved it. I love watching him play. Azusa Pacific, I think, has got a good one with him. He played, like you mentioned, defensively. He's very, very solid. And then offensively, he seems to be the clutch guy in key moments, because there's a difference between getting a hit and getting it when it's needed, or a situational walk and those things. He has a knack for the big moment, which is kind of nice for a young player.
Well, he certainly seemed to have a great feel for it. One last thought for you, Coach, of just you talk about that chemistry, but tough at-bats up and down the lineup today. I thought everybody, when they came to the plate, even when you guys were behind, they were good, patient at-bats for the most part. You're building something. How much do you feel it just through 3 games of the season so far?
I noticed we turned a corner, so to speak, in this game in terms of, again, dugout. You mentioned you're hitting all the key spots defensively, key hits, key situations, good at-bats, quality at-bats here at the plate, 8 to 9 pitch at-bats. Yeah. Fouling off some tough pitches. One kid that one of the players that I remember was Hunter Ariano, where he went kind of deep in a count and kind of setting the tone like, hey, we're up by 5 runs. We're not going to let our foot off the gas. So I really like that.
Well, Coach, appreciate the
Thank
time.
you.
2-1, a great start to the year.
Thank you, Tim.
That's Oscar Hinojosa. We're going to bring in the starter and the victor in this game, Miles Harrison, momentarily. The Fresno A's getting the 7-2 victory. And a big part of it was Miles Harrison, who joins us now, settles in, the right-hander from Central Arizona College, and adjusting. So I was in the ACCAC for a while. I know the league well. It's a tough league. What was important to you about coming out today and just finding your rhythm?
It took a couple innings for me to get really zoned in. A little nervous coming in. Going against college players, being so young, but once I got into the zone, that's when I started getting hot and felt really good.
Well, we talked about it with Coach a minute ago. Not sure if you heard, but it seemed like as soon as your team got you a run, that calmed all the nerves. Yeah. What was the difference about seeing the offense get on the board that helped you kind of feel relaxed?
Yeah, once we started scoring, the energy went right up, and it calmed me down, knowing that my team has my back and they're going to put runs for me to help me out.
Well, you guys have only played 3 games. Can you explain to people who are listening about how quickly maybe some of the chemistry and the familiarity with each other is starting to develop?
Yeah, really quick. Since the first night when we went to the owner's house, I felt like everybody just knew each other. We clicked really fast. The people in my house, we are like a family out there. And only being 3 days, we definitely clicked really fast.
Well, it seems like it, and you guys start the year 2-1. A lot of good support for you, not just offensively, but defensively. You look at some of the plays behind you. Bryce Robinette, obviously your catcher, Hunter Ariano, helped out. What did that defense feel like, and what sort of momentum did that feel like you guys were building in those middle innings?
Making good plays makes the pitcher really, really happy. My defense played really good today, and they had my back, and that's all I can ask for.
3 or 4 strikeouts coming after that, from the 3rd inning on. In your last 3 outings, you retired 10 straight. Did you feel comfortable at that point? I mean, how can you kind of explain that zone that you hit in the outing?
Just at my calmest state, not overdoing it. I think I was the first 2 innings, and once I started settling down, knowing that my team has my back and knowing that I can do a really good job, that's when I got into the zone where nothing else matters except for throwing strikes.
Well, that's what it looked like, and you picked up the win. Great job, Miles. Thanks for the time.
Much.
Miles Harrison, the Fresno A's victorious pitcher today, 5 innings, struck out 4, and worked around a couple of walks early in the ball game as the A's were down 2-0, but Harrison retired the last 10 he faced. And that's going to be a guy to watch because he was impressive, downright dominant through the last 3 1/3 for the A's. The shot of the game today brought to you by Bud's Gun Shop. Check out what shot will be selected tomorrow on the post-game show. The next time you want to buy a firearm or ammo, think of Bud's Gun Shop. I'm going to go back to the third inning, that leadoff single by Cade Snodgrass. The A's were down 2-1 at the time. Snodgrass singled into right center field. Could have been a double if Hirschberger had not cut it off. And that started the party that really seemed like that was unsettling to the Saints bullpen, and that was the threat I think that the A's provided, and that is your shot of the game. Cade Snodgrass started that 4-run inning with a leadoff single in the third, and the A's pick up the 7-2 win. They'll be back tomorrow, 5 o'clock start here at Chachansky Park. Hope you come out and see them. And then Brian Welch will be back on the call Tuesday night, and excited to see my buddy then. It's been a privilege to be with you. Apologize again about some of those technical difficulties at the top of the broadcast, but my name's Tim Slack. It's a great day for the A's as Fresno beats the South Bay Saints 7-2. Have a great Sunday from Chachansky Park. Goodbye.